No. Um, no. It just says game over. It says waiting for the gum card. Yeah. No. Let me double check.
Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Let me go ahead and do like a quick little post that we are live. We have a great show for you today.
Oh, we got a whole lot of twists and turns. Well, at least
We
on my part.
we got lots going on
Uh,
today.
and Eloy go into this blind, so we don't really know what we're telling each other
Yeah,
until
we always like save our topics for, you know, just because I feel like it makes it more interesting.
Yeah. The element of surprise.
Yeah. Almost ending the post.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Okay. So, how you been? Hopefully the music's not too loud, but you know.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, how you I know we talk on like regular basis, but like after last episode, how was your time?
Wow. Dude, I don't know. Ever since we started this, I've been like watching more videos on like paranormal stuff. Like I've always listened to true crime stuff or watched like documentaries or whatever. But like since probably like like a couple days before last Saturday, whenever we watched some stuff,
Yeah.
like I've been watching shit, and I just so happen to keep doing it at night. And like last night, I was watching a thing on The Conjuring, and I was like, I have to turn it off. Like I'm not gonna be able to sleep if I keep watching this.
Yeah.
But other than that,
can I spoil something real quick? Hold on. Okay. There, I didn't spoil anything.
you kind of did.
I know. It's okay. Nobody knows yet. Nobody knows. I mean, like, if you know, you know, but not yet.
Oh Lord, oh Lordy. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
It
good.
was just a blonde person. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's
Really.
all.
That's all it was.
Like I used to just spoil something. Oh no, it's back.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I took it off.
Okay, so you spoiled it twice, you old turd.
I know.
Well, should I just go first then? Jeez.
I mean, if you want to, yeah.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, but.
All right. Well, anyway, how have you been?
I've been great. I've been fine.
Yeah.
There's more pizza there if you want. There's more pizza there if you want.
Okay. Yeah. I actually had like 2 bowls of salad.
Ooh.
Nice. I don't know. I just like Chipotle ranch. Chipotle ranch is really good.
I do like Chipotle ranch. I got up this morning. Well, Andrea freaking blew up my phone. So I was like, let's go to the gym. And then my alarm went off. And like, you know, I'm that person that like, if we have plans in the morning and my alarm goes off and I see that you haven't already tried to call me, I'm snoozing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm snoozing. And, you know, I snoozed it. And then like right before 10, she starts blowing up my phone. She's like, we got to go to the gym. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So we did 2 miles on the tread today. It was cardio. I'm probably going to do some more later, but
yeah.
Started off my morning hating life. So
Okay.
Anything that requires me getting out of breath while my legs are moving, I'm not okay, unless it's fun, like fun activities, but that's not fun.
Right.
Oh, man.
I mean, okay, so I woke up, and then literally as I woke up, I always look at my phone because so many people were like require my attention when I like literally as I'm sleeping. And then like I look at my phone and I see that you texted me, so I'm like, you're like, oh, text me when you're awake. So I was like, okay, and I go to like text you, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like what should I do? Like I really don't want to be awake, but you ever have that feeling where like you're tired, but yet you're not tired enough to like properly sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
like,
in like it's like
you wake up, and you're kind of like, all right, I could get up, but like, I don't really know if I want to, but I kind of need to, and
yeah,
all that fun stuff.
yeah. So I was in that kind of mood, and I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I definitely I definitely should do something. And so I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna make myself a salad. I forgot that like I went grocery shopping, and I was like, literally as I'm like shopping, I don't know what I'm gonna buy. I just roam through like,
Oh, that's how I am. It like speaks to me.
yeah, like the moment that I get like inspiration, like I don't know, like once I see food, like then like if I go to Walmart or something, I'll literally go like around like the grocery aisles and stuff like that until like I get like a spark of like um what's it called, like inspiration for like food. And then I saw the Chipotle ranch, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a whole dish around this. And I just did just a simple salad, just a simple chicken salad.
Uh, I do love a good look. Okay, but I don't like grilled chicken salads. People who are like, "Oh, I'm craving a good grill." No, fuck off. You're never craving that. It needs to be fried. It needs to be cut up into little pieces, and that way, whenever you fork it, you get a little surprise, little fried chicken bite.
Okay, but like I don't really get like what's it called? I don't like the breaded chicken all too much. I like mine like on my
Oh,
salad. I like more my grilled chicken instead of
oh,
like fried
oh,
chicken.
oh, no,
What do
no,
you mean?
that's disgusting. Get out of
What? What are you talking about?
here. Grilled chicken.
Yeah, like a nice grilled like seared chicken. None of that fake shit that they have like at restaurants or like not restaurants, like fast food places and stuff like that. Like I'm
And
talking about like
maybe
natural.
no. I've never been like I want a salad and I want to put grilled chicken on it. Like I've never. No.
Really? You've never gotten that before?
I mean, I have, but like it's not like if
Not
I'm
like
gonna
ordered it
go
like
up.
like when people say like, oh, I have like a craving for something, I really genuinely feel that. But like my salads aren't like simple ones like that. Like the ones that I crave are the ones that have like apple slices and mandarins or like pieces of like
Yeah,
grapes and stuff.
Like,
Or, like what was it? I don't. I'm not sure. Like, oh, what are they called? Southwest salads. I love Southwest salads.
oh well, Zaxby's just came out. They're. I keep on watching YouTube and I get ads about their freaking Southwest salad that's back. So you wanna
Uh,
go? I mean, it is breaded chicken.
right. I mean,
I mean, I'm sure you could ask for fried, and they're gonna be like, "What the?" I mean, for grilled, and they're gonna be like, "This is Zaxby's, you dumb fuck."
no, but like it's fine. Like if it's like if that's the only option that it comes with, like I'm not gonna like fight people over it. But like I'm just saying, like I prefer just grilled chicken.
Okay, well, we'll go to Zaxby's and we'll go get that because their salads are oof, best
Okay.
salads.
Also, not sponsored, but I've been drinking Olipop. It's
Okay, that shit's good.
yeah, I've been like drinking it, and like I don't know, I like this is the first. I think this is the first one I genuinely feel like I don't like. It's called Dr. Goodwin.
Oh.
It genuinely tastes like medicine. I don't like
Oh.
it. Like it's supposed to be like their version of Dr. Pepper, I think, but like the
Mhm.
healthier version.
Oh,
And like I don't know, I think this is the only one I really like that I found that I don't like. I got the orange one. The orange one I liked a lot, but I feel like I kind of screwed it over with putting it in my mango water.
yeah.
So like I was just like, okay, that's kind of like it's kind of like ugh, like I kind of like messed up the whole healthiness of it all.
Yeah, you did. You said, "Here, let me get this healthy beverage and add it to
It,
sugar."
it just yeah, for real. But I mean, it was natural like mango water. Like it was no sugar added. Like it was just like water and mango. That's all it was.
Ooh,
Yeah, but it came out delicious. Like it's
that's
so
good.
good. And then my favorite one that I like is the lemon lime one. That one's also really good.
I need to go get some. I've been drinking a lot of like the zero sugar vitamin waters, and also the lemon waters. I don't know the actual. It might just say lemon water on it. I don't know, but they have like different flavored ones. Like they'll have like I don't know mango, like raspberry or something. I don't know, but they're really good.
Um. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not like that picky, but let us know in the comments section down below. What do you think about you know grilled chicken
Salads.
over breaded
Yeah.
chicken
Yeah,
or
'cause
fried chicken?
that's. I bet you $1,000 is gonna be fried or breaded either.
I think fried and breaded are basically the same thing, isn't it?
They are basically. I
What
mean,
if you
can't-
fry? What if you fry like just like a boiled piece of chicken?
Oh hell no.
Is that like
That thing would be
blasphemous?
dry. That thing would be dry.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's
Have
horrible.
you ever tried? I think they have a name, but like it's like a fried egg, not like fried like you crack it. It's like a boiled egg that's like been breaded, and then they
Ew.
fry it.
I mean, I'd try it, but that sounds kind of nasty.
Like low key, yeah, just because of like the textures, but like I kind of want to like try it. Like, what's the difference between that and getting it like what is it, like a smashed egg, like you know, like avocado toast? How like a lot of times they'll like smash like a boiled, like a soft boiled egg, and then like kind
Yeah.
of just like put it on top of the avocado toast.
Yeah, I guess
I
that's
mean, like,
true.
what's the difference between those two, really?
Yeah, I'd try it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. You
So
have
before we
yours.
start,
Yeah,
I'm going to be talking about some stuff that people might not like, so viewer discretion advised.
and as always, with these kinds of episodes for Spooky Scary Saturdays, obviously, you know, the podcast is something that we try to maintain, but like if we don't, there's other things that I'll put into place of it. But you know, anytime that you see like the pod or something on there, um, I'll try to make it like a thing. But like you know, as always, we do talk about topics about things that you know, are very sensitive and
Yeah.
are very
Some
like
trigger warning.
yeah, it's very triggering and stuff because we do talk about like death and like you know, on occasions like suicide or murders and like things like that, and like on the spookier side of things, like you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Please just be respectful within the comment section and in chat. You know, let's not go ahead and start any unnecessary stuff.
Yeah.
Let's keep it positive and just, you know, if you're here and you're watching, you know, don't hate watch. Just watch because you genuinely enjoy and like think that these topics are interesting and stuff. Don't, you know, just let's not go there.
Yeah, mine's like the trifecta on triggers, so we're just gonna leave it like that. I mean, you know, if it gets to be too much, you don't have to watch all the way through. You can skip through once this is posted for real and leave it like that. But other than that, like we're just wanting to bring some entertainment slash I don't know, education to people.
Yeah. I mean, we're not definitely the people to be educating.
No, we're not, but like we give some good tips, I think.
Yeah, we do give. I feel like we do give good advice.
Yeah. So
I know I had some people who told me that they watched the VOD from last episode and they were telling me like oh yeah, like I definitely agreed so much like with like the club etiquette and things
yeah.
like that. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like for sure that's something that like me personally, I don't go out to places like that, but like I feel like that kind of etiquette could definitely work outside of the same setting, you know?
And we're not saying it's, I mean, obviously like guys can use club etiquette as well, but like
Yeah.
really targeted towards women. So
Yeah.
it makes it a little, I mean, look, I might be short, you know, you might think, oh, I can get her. No, the second I squat, I turn into a fucking boulder, so you can't move me. Like,
For real.
I've been with these tree trunk thighs for a little bit now. They chafe. Someone come out with the product. I mean, there is the chafe stick, but it gets a little lubed up down there, so it's kind of like I'm
Ooh.
sorry. It's like it looks like a deodorant stick, and literally just rub it on like your whatever spots chafe. And I put it on my inner thighs one day, dude. I thought I was on the slip and slide. Like it was just gliding like butter.
Oh my gosh.
I know some people do baby powder and stuff like that. It just, you know what, genetics or ass. I'm
You
just gonna
ever
go-
you ever hear the one where it's like what is it called? It's like a certain kind of powder, but it's like monkey butt or something. It's like a powder like
Oh.
meant for like I guess like for dudes so that way they don't get like, you know, chafed down there
Swamp
like
ass.
yeah, like the swamp ass. Yeah.
That's funny. No, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I don't remember where I saw it, but I legit saw somebody have like you know that foot powder for like athlete's foot?
Yeah.
They had that huge thing of it and it said monkey butt. And to me I was like what the heck does that mean? And then they were like, "Oh, you ever just like, you know, go running or jogging or you're doing something and you get kind of like sweaty like near your butt? It's like especially in your crack, like around your crack." And I was like, "No." And they were like, "Oh."
Whenever I in middle school. I think it might have been actually like high school, but I remember like yeah, it was definitely high school. I was friends with my friend group. Like I was friends with a lot of guys. A lot of them were on the football team, and like for some reason, like a whole group of them just shaved everywhere, and the stubble started growing back in their butt crack. And so when they were at practice, they were all like just waddling around because their like butt crack was chafing because of their like stubble.
Oh my god.
It was really funny. They're like all in pain. I'm like, now you know.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Like, the only thing that I don't think I've ever really chafed or anything. The only thing I've ever had was just like blisters on my feet because I was like between working like it was at the point where I was working 3 jobs, then it went down to 2 jobs, and like I would just be constantly be on my feet, and then like if I wasn't on my feet, then I would feel like a massive pain, like sharp, like almost like stabbing, like at the soles of my feet, or like at what's it called, like at the not like my tiptoes, but like what is it called? That first area of your foot. Like if you were to go like on your tippy toes, like it's balances between
The
those.
ball, not like the balls. I don't know. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah, the
about.
balls of the feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it. So,
Okay, let's get into it. Let me go ahead and just lower down this music a little bit so it's not distracting to whatever we're talking
my topic is true crime. Some of
Mhm.
y'all might have heard of this guy. Some of y'all might have not. I don't think Eloy has. Have you?
about. No, I haven't.
Okay. So this is Isreal Keyes, and he was born in America. He was born in 1978. He ended up growing up in Utah, and then eventually ended up in Alaska.
Ooh, Alaska.
I know we like Alaska.
We do like Alaska.
Yeah. So this guy has, I mean, so he's a murderer,
Right. Yeah. I mean, hence why he's on our podcast. But yeah.
but he actually showed some signs of like being a psychopath, like whenever he was a kid. So he would like break into his neighbors' houses, like steal guns, torture
Uh
animals,
huh.
like all that stuff, like all the things lined up in order to create a mass murderer, basically.
Okay.
So he murdered at least 3 people, but like whenever he got captured, he like committed to like I think 11 upon like other felonies like like kidnapping, I mean arson, robbery, like
Oh my
all that.
god, dude, that's a lot of stuff.
Sorry, arson. Anyway,
Barson.
arson, burglary, that's in there. He did that too.
Grand
But
Theft
so
Auto.
I didn't read anything. I mean, I'm sure, but I didn't. Okay. Anyway, so his all of these crimes that he committed did not just happen in Alaska. It like spanned over the United States as a whole. Between like July 2001 to February 2012. So that's a whole 11 years of him being Satan.
So they just let this guy run around for 11 years, just doing as he pleases.
Well, they never were able. So the only time that they suspected him was with his last victim.
Okay.
This dude like knew how to fly under the radar. Whenever he would travel, he would take out his phone battery when he was driving so he couldn't be tracked. Like very under the radar.
Wow. So he like knew.
Yes, like everything about him was just very like smart, almost like very planned out, like creepy almost. That like to how perfect it was. But like he had a upbringing in a Mormon family, and then they said bye Mormonism and started some other thing. It sounded like they went to like a church that had a lot of like supremacy in it,
Okay.
so that kind of played into his childhood. And then like of course later down the road he moved to Alaska. So when he moved to Alaska, he had a baby girl and he has a girlfriend. So, he had a nice little family there, and he liked the snow. But after all of his crimes and stuff, he had one last victim, and her name is Samantha. Now, Samantha, this chick, she was 18 years old and was working at like one of those like drive-through coffee shops.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so like one of Israel's things is like he always said that like he would never like hurt kids or anything like that, which I mean, like, I know she's 18, but still that's like a kid.
Right, yeah.
Like, I mean, he probably just means like little kids and stuff like that, but
Yeah, like, like actual children.
yeah. Also, there's a lot of other stuff that goes into this case if you want to look at like previous murders that he did, but like this specific one has to do with how he got caught and like kind of like the downfall of him. So this is just kind of like the gist of it, But
Yeah.
so Samantha Koenig is her name, and she works at a drive-through coffee shop in Anchorage, Alaska. So, which I mean is where he lived.
In
And
Anchorage?
yes,
Holy, that's crazy. I'll explain why that's crazy later. But yeah, holy, okay.
so wait, okay, never mind. So yeah, they both lived in Anchorage, and she was working there, and it was around 8 p.m. and he drives up and pointed the gun at her and was demanding money, kind of like, but then he ended up like, he was like, turn the lights off. So she turned the lights off, and he bounded her arms and like gagged her with a bunch of napkins, which
What the what the
like,
wait,
could you just imagine working and someone being like, come here, and then like they look over the counter to just make sure that there's like napkins somewhere and just shoving them in your mouth?
right, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
He like just like a whole bunch of napkins and
Yeah.
just like shoved it down her throat.
I mean, he like gagged her with them. So he ended up taking her back to his place, and he had a shed in the back of his house. So he put her in the shed, tied her up, kept her in there, and he went inside to go and like check on his daughter, check on his girlfriend, and got a glass of wine, went back out to the shed, drinking his wine in front of her, and was telling her how it was all going to go down. Because at first, this chick just thinks because he said he just wanted money. So he took her credit card and everything. But like at that point, she's already kidnapped. So it's like, well, I mean, what to do with you now? So he's like telling her what all's going to go down, yada, yada, yada. I'll fast forward or I'll come back to this in a little bit. But he drank his wine, talked to her, and after he left the shed, he went back to his house and ended up packing his and his daughter's bags because he was going on a family cruise for 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So packed up. The next morning, he flew out to New Orleans to leave out of that port to go on a cruise. He was on this cruise for 2 weeks with his family, and then he returned. While he was gone, Samantha was she was reported missing the day after. They were looking for her, couldn't find her, all this stuff. So he literally just snatched up this coffee girl and left her in a shed while he was on vacation.
So he just like left her there.
Yeah, while he was gone, he was like, all right, I'll be back, bye, and then left her.
But like left her in like the shed?
Yeah, she was in the shed the whole time. So
what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. So another thing with this guy is he never had specific victims in mind. It was always crimes of opportunity. So always at random. He didn't want there to be kids, and he didn't want the people that he was attacking to have kids, like kids. I don't think it mattered if they were like 50 or something, but just like, young kids.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, he comes back from his vacation and ended up demanding money from Samantha's parents and was like, hey, like, I'm going to give you back your kid. Like, if if you could just send me some money as ransom, And they were like, all right, well, we need proof of life. So what he did was he went back to his shed, took a picture of her, and he was holding a newspaper that had the current date on it just to prove that she was alive and everything, and wanted them to transfer the money into his account.
What the heck, dude? That's he like planned this out, dude. Like, this wasn't like just some like regular dude. Like, he definitely like knew some shit,
Yeah, so he demanded $30,000 from them, and I mean, they ended up giving it to him, because like he did proof of life, took a picture because the newspaper has, I mean, it's a current newspaper, so that was like, the most he could do for that. So they deposited the money, and then the police started to track him through like the bank account to see like where he was like taking out money from, and he was going all over the place. Like, I think it was like New Mexico, let me see, it was Arizona, and then they ended up finding him in Texas, and he got pulled over because he was speeding. That's literally the only reason they were able to catch him, is because he was speeding. And once they caught him, they were like, oh, this is the guy we were looking for. So they arrested him, and then he was like, okay, I'll talk to y'all. So he started to talk and was talking about like the murders that he's done in the past, stuff like that. And ends up in the picture that the ransom picture. So she was actually dead in this picture.
You're lying.
No. So whenever he walked into the shed that night with his wine, he looked at her and was like, hey, I'm going to rape you. And then after that, I'm going to strangle you to death. And that's that. And so he raped her and strangled her, and she died the night that he kidnapped her.
So she's been dead for a while.
She's been dead for 2 weeks because he took this picture as soon as he got back. So she was dead for 2 weeks, and he went in there. Dude, I'm telling you, when I read this, I was like, this is absolutely disgusting.
Okay, so, hold on, bro.
Okay.
So, like, he raped her, killed her, and then went on vacation as like a little like, woo, I got away with it, and then decided to still ask for ransom. So, like, okay, and like in the picture, like I was just like thinking like, okay, maybe she's like, like maybe she just like looks traumatized or whatever, because like on the surface of how she like looks like through the picture, looks a bit odd and stuff. But like, how did he get her?
She looks exhausted.
Right, but like, she's dead.
Okay, so this is the part that's disgusting. So whenever he got back from his vacation, he was like, I'm gonna, they want proof of life, so I'm gonna give that to them. He got fishing line and sewed her eyes open. And then he braided her hair, put makeup on her, and propped her against the wall, and then took the picture.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
So okay, so like if you look at the right eye, I kind of see it now. Like if you look at the right eye, it definitely looks like there's something there. Dude, that's just crazy to me. What the hell?
Yeah. So back to how I was saying he's really smart. He would go around the country and bury these like so-called murder kits into the ground, and he would go back to that place. Like, they have been like, these murder kits were there for like years, and he would go back to that spot, dig it back up, and he would have all of his weapons and stuff that he needed in order to go and kill someone.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, so they caught him for speeding. He confessed, whatever. Right before the trial started, though, he actually ended up killing himself in his cell. And he snuck a razor blade in, killed himself, and wrote like a note. I don't know exactly what all was on the note, but he wrote it in his blood and said like, "We are all one."
So this dude had like some serious demons then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, that's yeah. And this crazy fuck had, oh, like a wife and kids, or like a kid.
He had a girlfriend and a child. I think the kid was like 10 years old or something. I don't think she was like 10 whenever he got caught, but like whenever he like first started, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, he was only 34 years old. He had a history of he was in the army, and that was whenever his first crime like took place, was like shortly after he joined the army. And like people would say that he would always drink and be like disassociated from things and stuff like that.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. That's for sure. I don't know. That's just crazy. The whole putting makeup on her and like basically like getting her ready to look like she's still alive.
I mean, she looks alive in the picture, like for sure. She just looks like someone who has been left for 2 weeks in a shed with no light.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's just straight up crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know how he killed her?
He strangled her.
Okay.
Yeah, so like she had rope that was already tied around her neck, and like I mean, from what he told.
Okay, because like, okay, that makes sense. Because like, if you look at the picture and like around her neck, it definitely looks like there's like some trauma.
You can see some bruising there. Yeah, for sure. The only thing that I found weird, I'm not trying to like, you know, shit talk or anything, but like, she looks very like Neanderthal-ish.
Oh yeah.
Like, and which I think, because whenever you die, your body kind of bloats. So maybe it's just because you can tell like her lips like look like they are very like swollen. Like
yeah, they
she
can, like
looks
especially
very dark.
like
She looks dark in certain areas too.
well, like that was the thing too that I was gonna say, like her lips and like also like what's it called, like her eyes, they look like a little sunken. Like I don't know, like that's why like at first like my first initial thought was like, okay, maybe she's just you know, like maybe she's just like really traumatized, because you know like people like through stress, like their facial and like their like just like their body, like their looks start to change because of the stress that they're under.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, maybe she looks this way because she was just like a whole bunch of stress, she just got kidnapped, all these other things, blah blah blah.
That's what I thought when I first saw it, and then I'm like, oh no, her eyes are sewn open, and he put makeup on her, and it says
Like I mean
that,
compared to like this.
yeah, I know. Well, it said that he braided her hair. I didn't see her hair was braided in the ransom picture.
Because I mean, like even like here, like you could tell like she definitely looks like I mean obviously this one has color and stuff, but this one, like her like what I mean, like her right eye, it doesn't look like weird, you know. And then
Well,
when
like
you go over to
has,
like this picture,
well, like look, I mean, her lips and the other picture is so much smaller than in the ransom picture.
right?
Like everything, I'm telling you, it's probably like some like bloat or like something, because like I mean, but 2 weeks she was sitting there dead, like, but it was also, you know, cold in Alaska, so it preserved her body in a sense.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think maybe that's why he did it in like, you know, in Alaska? Because anytime that he would like kill somebody, it just like naturally will preserve. Like he literally just like buries somebody in the snow, and they like preserve their body.
Maybe.
That's crazy.
Man, you went back and forth a lot on these pictures.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to like show like the comparison of just like the two like looks and like the body and stuff, because it looks just so strange, you know?
Yeah, I meant to so like when they found her, so like, okay, so like he took the picture, you know, whatever, got the money, and before he left, he dismembered her and threw her remains in a frozen lake.
Shut up. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, like, could you imagine like being the parents and being like, oh my god, my baby's alive, like we're gonna get her back, and it's like, nope, she's already been dead for 2 weeks.
Yeah, the guy just straight up like scammed them. Like, what the fuck?
For $30,000. Like, come on.
Yeah, 30,000, dude. Oh my god, bro. Like, okay, like obviously that money went back to them, right? After like the fucker got to go to jail.
No, I'd hope so.
Cause that I don't know, dude. That's just crazy, stupid, and like I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like the time and like the effort and the planning that was put into this, like regardless of her, like all of his other like crimes, he buried, killed, like murder hits basically, and would just be like, yep, that's where I buried it, I'll be back in a few years, and would go and grab it and be like, yay, it's still here, and would go and kill someone.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely something.
Yeah, but there's a lot more to this. This is just like the biggest case on his side. There's a lot of other people that he confessed to murdering. I believe like one of the there was a couple that he murdered. It was an elderly couple, and he like broke into their home. But this one is definitely like the most planned out, like one that he's done for sure.
Yeah, that's dude, that's so freaking. I don't know. I'm still kind of like a hold over the whole like him, like getting her like camera ready, and to like scam the parents. That to me is just like so devastating.
Look, I mean, like we've talked about it before. Like I work at a place where I do see dead people a lot, and all I have to do is take them down to the morgue. Like that's it. I could not imagine not only murdering them, but then having to play with their body, basically.
Oh my god, yeah, like that, yeah, that's
like
crazy.
And the people and like the murderers that will dismember people, like he literally raped her, strangled her, made her picture like photo ready, and then dismembered her. Like that is so many things, and I feel like how do you not get sick during that? Like how do you not sit there and be like,
I mean, he's a sick fuck, like, so
it's just crazy to me. Like I could never. I mean, we're just good people, I guess. But like, I could never imagine not only killing someone, but like going through with all of that for $30,000. I mean, for all the money in the world, I couldn't do that.
And I mean, she like okay, like you and I, we worked as baristas and stuff. Can you imagine like, but when we were working at like that, or when me and you were working together and stuff at that place, and just somebody like, thankfully it's on the beach. It's somewhere that's heavily populated. It's not like a small little place like Anchorage. Like I was gonna go to Anchorage, right, for Alaska and stuff. So like that to me that was like crazy. And it's like I did like some research on Anchorage or whatever, and it's like Anchorage is just small. It's a small place.
Yeah.
To like be, and so it's like.
Well, they were saying it's the most populated city in Alaska, but only 10% of it is populated.
Right.
So there's a ton of area where people can just go under the radars, and I think that's what he did, because there's a lot of land there. There might be it might be the most populated city, but that still doesn't mean much if there's all this land that people have access to.
That was my thoughts on it. And then like, because like it's different than our situation, but like we're on the beach, it's like a big tourist area. There's like rarely, unless it's like really really like bad weather, or like even when it's like kind of chilly, like obviously it's Florida, it's not gonna be like like cold and snowing and stuff, but I mean like you touch the sand, and I've even heard people that are from Canada and Alaska and stuff, they're like, oh yeah, it feels like I'm back at like it feels like the summer and where I'm from. And I'm like, that's disgusting. First of all, it's like that's so cold. And it's like not only that, but it's like, can you imagine just somebody coming up to us and being like, oh hey, and then just shove napkins down our throat, and then we just like are gone? That's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
I know. And like I just like, there's been a couple of times where I've gotten like weird vibes from like customers, and I'm like,
yeah, I feel that too.
Like I had this really big guy, like just tall, like big guy, and like he was taking like, it was like he was glitching, like he took a while to respond, like and it's like a script whenever we have customers, okay, hey, how are you, welcome in, whatever, anything else for you, would you like your receipt, like that's it. And
Yeah.
it was just like he took a really long time to respond to me, and he just ended up getting a coffee, like just a brewed coffee, and was at the end with like the creamer and stuff, and was just staring at me for like 5 minutes.
That's creepy.
Yeah, and I looked at Jordan. I said, "This dude's creeping me out." And as soon as I brought it up to Jordan, he left. Like as soon as Jordan walked out, because it was me and another girl in there. But as soon as he saw another guy was there, he was like, "I'm out." Like
Yeah.
there's a part of me that seriously feels like he was waiting for there to be no one else in there, and he was going to be the only customer. He was there. He was staring at me for 5 minutes, but he was there for at least 15.
I don't know. It's very chilling. It's very scary and stuff.
Yeah, but if y'all are interested in learning more about Isreal Keyes and his history with being an asshole, you can find it easily. There's tons and tons of stories about him. Some go more into depth than others, but
yeah, on this podcast, we really don't really go much into depth of these things, but we just kind of like bring you like highlights and stuff. Obviously, everything that we bring here is just the stuff that we have that's like general knowledge to everybody. But as of like the time of the recording, which is now, things can obviously resurface or like could change and things like that. But like, for sure, like I guess the lesson learned here is just be careful. Like even at work, like I mean, like obviously where we work at, like there are times, or where I used to work at, there used to be like times where we would be alone in like the coffee room, but I mean like I said, it's in a heavily populated area, and stuff, but I don't know, just somewhere like smaller, and like especially at night, like okay, like on the beach where I used to work at and stuff, like on the beach and stuff, there were times where even I felt a little unsafe walking to my car to like the parking lot, because we had to walk like not like a large distance, but it's like maybe like what, like 5 minutes, like 3 minutes away.
I mean, it's probably like I would say like right under, like, I don't know, probably about like 5.
It's like a little stroll. It's a little stroll
It's
down.
a little stroll. It's like you're by yourself when you walk. It's like, yeah, there might be people walking by, like tourists and stuff like that, but like just be cautious of your surroundings, and like I guess bringing back from last podcast with what Eloy said, always carry some mace with you.
Yeah, carry
or a taser.
Yeah, carry something. And like I mean, whenever when I would be manager, and I would be closing, my crew was just a whole bunch of guys, and rarely we'd get like one girl that would close with us, because at our job they really don't want like girls like closing, because there'd be times where we close pretty late, like around like 1, and like obviously we all park around the same area because we have like our own parking spots, but even then, like there's times where it's like, oh, they have to leave a little early or whatever because of like whatever reason, but
Yeah.
we never made them walk on their own. And like especially myself, I always try to make it like a thing where it's like, before I was manager, I would be telling me like, hey, I'm gonna walk her to her car and then come back, or I'd be like, you know what, like if you really have to go, let me know, I'll lock up, I'll walk you to your car, and then I'll come back, and then I'll go and do that, or I'll get one of the other guys to go and walk them to her car and stuff like that, because I don't know, me personally, I don't feel like safe, because especially like at night, there's so many drunks around. Like I don't think any of them would like murder, but like
No, but,
I also
like,
don't
just
want them
even
putting
just-
hands on you,
Yeah, even just the harassment is like, get
Yeah.
away. Like JoJo,
Yeah.
the local drunk. Love
Yeah.
him to death, but he can get a little handsy, and you're like, get away, dude.
Yeah. And like that's what I mean. It's like I don't know. That just like, to me, that's like absolutely crazy. Like I mean,
Well,
even
another thing that I've seen is like with girls specifically, if a guy is creeping them out and making weird comments, a lot of girls just like laugh it off, and like to guys that can come off as you flirting back.
Yeah.
And they'll like continue, but like put your foot down. Like, you're probably not going to see them again. Who cares if you're an asshole for 2 minutes? If you don't feel safe, be an asshole.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. If you don't feel safe, like, you know, be an asshole. Do something. You know, like, don't worry about their feelings. I'd rather you worry about your life than some a-hole's feelings. You know.
Exactly.
And it's like, I did saw this one video where it's like this girl, like, it was a TikTok, and she's like, you know, getting stuff from her car. She's like leaving, and she sees like another girl being harassed by some like guy that like followed her, and she like was like looking at it to see like what the situation was like, and she like got like a gut feeling, and she was like talking to like the camera, and she's like yeah, this like, you know, this is giving me like a really bad vibe, and she goes over and she's like, oh my gosh, there you are, like, come on girl, let's go, we gotta go home. And then just like takes her away, and then she's like, do you need a ride? And she's like, yes please. And then I felt so scared for the girl, like when like the way she just like the look of relief on her face after she came over and like pretended to be like, oh, her friend that was looking for her. Like, that to me was just like, oh my god, dude, like I'd be so fucking scared.
Well, I've also seen like sex traffickers, they'll mark people's cars. Like, they'll put like honey on like the door handle, or money in the windshield wipers, just something to make you stop, to be distracted and to let your guard down. And it's like, if you see, I don't care if it's $100 bill, leave it. And drive. Get in your car, lock the doors, drive.
Yeah. Or I mean, like, even myself, like, I do it out of like just sheer social anxiety, but I mean, I feel like it's like a very strong prominent thing, especially like I guess like nowadays, I guess. But like, go shopping with a friend. Even if a friend, like, you know, doesn't need to go shopping or whatever, just call someone up, hit someone up, you know. Like, even just like be on FaceTime with them the whole entire time, just be like, you know, talking to them or whatever, and just like spend time. Like I go with Shadu, like like a lot of times Shadu doesn't even need to like do anything or like get anything from the store, but I'll be like, hey, do you want to go? And then we'll go and like get like something to eat afterwards, but like, you know, so that way I don't have like a sheer panic attack, or like anxiety attack as I'm like doing shopping. Like, he'll be around, or like I'll take like my niece and nephew, or like, you know, just like, you know, safety numbers from last podcast. Safety numbers. Heed our warnings. Safety in numbers.
Do not take a job that requires you to work alone.
Oh god, no, especially even at night, or if it's like in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. No. You know, get yourself, I don't even care if this job pays like, you know, $1 trillion. That is not worth your life. Money does not mean anything if you're dead.
Nope.
So, you know, definitely, like, I don't know, there's ways that can be avoided, and obviously, you know, shit happens, life is life, you know, just stay safe out there.
But don't let it overtake your life. Still go outside.
Yeah, go outside, touch some grass, spend time with friends. Just don't make friends with, like, I mean, obviously strangers turn into friends, but listen to your gut. If you get like a bad vibe, or if you don't want to associate with this person, even if you have like a crumb of doubt of where it's like, ooh, I'm feeling a little unsafe, leave, run away.
And don't go home with random people.
Oh my god, for real, don't go home with random people. Like, obviously Uber's a thing, but even Uber in itself has like an option on the app where like people, like if you're in your emergencies, or like you can add people's number to there, add your mom, add your dad, even if they're not like in the same like city or state or whatever, like, you know, they know where you are at all times, and they track you until you get home. And like, I even tell this to like you and Andrea and stuff like that, like after we leave places, I'm like, text me when you guys get home, or like, you know, let me know when you get home.
Yeah, and I have so many people on that I track, and so many people that track me.
Yeah, like for me, like obviously, like it's easy for me to like go places and then like be back. It's like not just because like I'm a guy, but because I always constantly have people around me. And it's like, but like I know with like a lot of times like with yourself, because you know the people in your household, sometimes they don't get home either like late, or they're not really like available to like, I don't know, like be awake, or like have the availability to like check your location or whatever. Or like people like one of our friends that they now live alone, and it's like, you know, I always try to make sure that they're okay. And it's like in my household I have like 9 people, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, well, like our friend that lives alone, like just got a Ring doorbell to make them feel safer.
Yeah. And like especially with them, I always like tell her like for sure, like sometimes I'll be like, I'll call her like anytime I get like a weird feeling. I'm like, are you okay? Are you safe? Like, you know. But I know you're there most, like when she's like right now she's not currently here like in the state, but like when she is back home, I know a lot of times like you'll be with her and stuff. Um and I mean she has like she has like a whole house to herself. It's not like a small area, and it's like obviously like she lives next door to her parents, but still that's like next door, you know. Like time how much time it takes you to like run from one door to the next door, and that's a big chunk of time, you know.
Yeah. Well, stuff can definitely happen. I mean, there's stuff you can't prevent, but you can be safe about things.
Yeah, be smart, be safe. Let's move on to the next topic.
Woo!
Ooh. Okay, so this one. Oh, okay. Well, I guess yeah. We'll start off with this one. So, I'm actually gonna lower the music because I feel like it's a little bit. It got like louder. But,
oh my god.
Oh no, that's mute. Okay, there we go. So, mine is the Paris catacombs, and I got this because like I chose this topic because I remember there being a movie, and I was thinking about like, okay, what exactly am I gonna bring for the pod? And so I was like, okay, I could talk about a place like, you know, like a very like well-known place, like maybe here in the States or whatever. But I was like, no, you know what? Let's do something that's like outward, but it's like what's really out there. And then I didn't want like do like another haunted house or like a forest. And I was like, what's really out there? And I remember watching this movie called As Above, So Below, and it's about the Paris catacombs.
Dude.
And
Fuck cat.
yeah, like no, especially these ones. These are crazy. So in, you know, in Paris, it's the city of lights. It's, you know, it's the place of love, Ratatouille, you know, all that kind of stuff. And the movie basically is like it plays on like the documentaries or like the documents and everything of the Paris catacombs that happen, you know, just like all the creepy stuff that happens down there. And one of the things that's definitely scary is that they have, I'll explain this picture in a bit, but there's like a lot of stuff like in the movie. You follow like these documentators that go down there. She's like a scientist, and she's like an archaeologist or whatever, and they're like just trying to like find out like what exactly is the catacombs, just get more information about it and stuff. And if you don't know, catacombs are basically just a place where people's remains kind of like stay.
Hold or below.
Yeah, and the Paris catacombs actually stretch over 300 kilometers. In miles, that's 186.411 miles. So around 200 miles it stretches around, and it has over 6 million people, like bones and stuff in there. So like over 6 million people have, you know, been reported, like have been buried there, and people have reported hearing like a whole bunch of scary stuff. There's one incident where so okay, a little more background on this. The catacombs, they're closed off to the public. You're not really allowed to go down there. But like, I don't know how things are in Paris, but people obviously still go down there, and stuff, which leads into this picture, but a little bit more on that later on. And you know, the police go down there and they like try to make sure like no one's down there. One, you know, it's the catacombs, and you could do a bunch of illegal stuff down there because it's not populated. And
Yeah.
two, it's very dangerous. There's areas where there's water that reaches up to like your mid thighs, and there's areas that it's basically like a whole cave system, and it's like limestone and stuff, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff that's like down there that could be collapsible.
Yeah.
So it's not very like structurally safe as well, I would say. Um, so you know it's a safety hazard, but one incident, police were going down there to, you know, just try and make sure, scope out the place, make sure nobody's like trespassing or whatever, and they reported hearing dogs bark.
What?
Like, and these like if you see in this picture, the hallways are narrow, and I
Yeah.
mean like they're like narrow, like it's like you could barely like be like side by side between somebody, and there's big areas like these, but they were like you know, going down the path of the catacombs, and they heard dogs barking. And I mean, one of the entrances that I know of, from a YouTuber, um they you basically have to hop a fence and kind of like go like climb a whole bunch of stuff. And from what I see, I don't really think dogs can do that. Like maybe a small dog, but like the barks that they were reporting were like of big dogs. And it's
Oh
like,
my.
okay, there's like no dogs around. They like searched all over the place. Nothing. Others have reported hearing people yelling and screaming and like, you know, doing stuff. And like there's been multiple like apparitions of people who have been reported to be lost and stuff like that. Um and so like, you know, there's people who are down there and doing stuff. Like I even think that there's like even homeless people like um who like kind of just like abide in the catacombs and just like, but all of them relatively just kind of stay close to the entrance. And if they're ever really down there, they're not like down there for too long. They like always resurface, and they always just kind of like stay close. Like none of them really venture too far. like
Yeah.
like I said, these things like stretch out for over 300 kilometers, and it's like a maze down there. Like there's been people who like map out the place, but even still, I think last time that I watched it, which was back in I think 2019, 2018, they were still finding new areas of the catacombs. Um,
Oh.
and if you look all over the place, like there's like bones and stuff, but people are down there, and they even found a place like this where this is in the picture. I couldn't find like a good one where there wasn't people like obscuring the area, but it's a picture of basically like a theater where they have like benches like what you see over on the right,
Yeah.
and there's like it like kind of goes down, so it looks like a theater, and there's even a full-on bar over to the side. It looks like, you know, like a themed club, and people are like down there. I don't know if the people made it there or like this was there beforehand. One of the things of like lore that happened in the catacombs is that a lot of like, you know, rituals of the occult. So I say that because I don't think all of them are satanic, but there are been ritual like satanic rituals that happen down there. That's also the movie. If you want to know more about like the catacombs and the sense of like a cinematic base of it, if you're not really into like documentaries or whatever, or like if you are but like the horror aspect more of it, definitely watch As Above So Below. I saw it and I actually liked it. It was really nice. Obviously everything is dramatized, but you know, um like there's so many areas. This isn't the only one. Like this one I think is like supposed to be like a living room area where like people just kind of go and chill. In the video of the YouTuber that I watched, there were people like literally just hanging out, chilling, and like playing guitar and stuff. But there's places that are just like scary. In the water area that I mentioned, people have been reported to be dragged down to the bottom.
Oh no.
Because there's only a ledge, so there's a hallway that's famously known where there's water, and the water goes down deep. Like it goes down for, I think they said it's like 3 mile down, 3 miles down,
Oh.
like deep. And people have been reported of seeing hands appear out of the water, and sometimes people have been reported to get grabbed and dragged. down to the water, and
No.
yeah, like it's crazy. There's been reportings of just seeing apparitions, of seeing like I guess the people who got lost there, being led by people because like I said, there's people who are like on common areas such as this one, where like people are just kind of there to like chill out and hang and like do illegal things. I don't really know exactly what those things are, but they do some stuff down there, and they come across somebody and they're like, oh, I'll help you get out, and sometimes they do, but most of the time it's people that go and like lead them deeper into the catacombs where they get lost,
Oh.
and the moment that they turn around, the person is no longer there.
Uh-uh.
So there's all
Oh,
that kind
that's
of stuff.
creepy.
Yeah. We also have places like this. So I don't know what this says. This is in French. I'm pretty sure. Um, I know it says catacombs in September 1859. That's all I could tell at the bottom. Um, yeah, I can't read the rest of it. But this is basically one of the walls that's famously known in the catacombs of Paris. But they're all like this. The walls of like the main area of the catacombs, they're all just like like human bones, human remains.
Oh.
There's like uh there's things like this, but it's literally just a cross made out of human skulls. Um and just like the whole wall is just femur bones, and there's areas where like they're decorated with more skulls and rib cages, and there's even paintings that are on the walls that depict either what the catacombs were, or and I'm not talking about like graffiti, I'm talking about like ancient pictures, like almost like cave drawings of
Oh.
just like a weird mystery that lies behind what the catacombs has. And it's just a whole bunch of like scary stuff. There's like obviously there's like echoing because it is like a cave system, um, but a big thing too is that they always hear people whispering, and
Nope. Nope. Nope.
there's
Nope.
even like times where it's like people will like you would hear somebody. I think there's one in the movie as well where they start hearing like the whispers of like somebody, and it lures them in, and that's one of like the cases what I was talking about. I know for sure this kind of leads more into like the true crime things, but I do know that there are people who lead people down there to kill them.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that they like kind of like put on this like front where it's like, oh yeah, like I do tours of like the catacombs. They lead you down to like places where only they know how to get out of, and that's what happened to this YouTuber. They got like a tour guide, and when they went through the tour like with the tour guide just like disappeared on them, and they were supposed to like die that day.
Oh, that's crazy. And like the amount of like bones that like are stacked up is just like it's so many.
Yeah, and I mean that 6 million 6 million
Yeah.
people, I mean that they know of, because like I said, like back in like 2018 and 2019, they were still reporting like finding more rooms of the catacombs behind like some walls, and like I also said that there were places that were like unstable and that were like collapsible, and like through those holes and stuff like that they ended up finding more rooms into the
Okay.
catacombs. I actually have a video that I would like to share, where
Okay.
it's a lost video of a guy. He Okay, so in context of this video, the video was a lost video found kind of thing. Um, ABC was the one who I guess did like a whole documentary of the catacombs, and they found this tape that went viral. I think this was like 5 years ago. I could check the thing. This was 7 years ago. So about 7 years ago, they found this like lost footage of the Paris catacombs. Like the footage, the video that I'm gonna show is basically just like a quick recap of that documented section on TV, where they were showing the the catacombs and stuff. And with that footage, the guy was just like, it's like a POV kind of thing where he was just showing like the rooms and areas and like the paintings and stuff like that. Things that I previously mentioned are shown in
Yeah.
this video. And suddenly, I guess he hears, like, I haven't seen the original. I tried to find the original one. If you find it, uh, you can hear like whispers, and people have even found like the mind you, like I said, this video is very old, so the quality is not going to be the best, but people have also been like commenting and stuff like that, that they've seen like little shadowy things as he like pans over the camera, and he starts freaking out and he starts running, and the video just ends with him just dropping the camera into a puddle, and you just hear him like running and like panting away.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and watch that video. Oh, okay.
It's very bizarre. These arrows point in a direction. Occasionally also, he stops to photograph roomfuls of bones.
So in this part of the video, you see that on the floor there's a whole bunch of bones and like other human remains like on the floor.
Yeah.
Which means that he's very, very deep inside the catacomb.
I know we're on Discord, so I don't know if you want to go ahead and pull up the live and actually watch it.
Yeah, I've been on it.
Okay.
So basically, he's filming what he's seeing very deep inside the catacomb.
Let me see. Yeah, that's as high as it goes. It only goes to 240p. But see, like, this is all graffiti and stuff. And a little bit before that, like, this wall and stuff. This is all just like limestone and stuff.
No, we talked
other than the point of view
limestone
shots.
last week.
See, that's all just bones.
Human bones.
Wow.
The catacombs for centuries.
So I'm not sure if you can see it here because it's like a little blurry, but you see how like that's like a little like marking of someone being hung and stuff. That's the old paintings that like people say it's not like graffiti. Other people argue that it is graffiti, but like people according to the people who actually research the place, there's things like this where it's like it's not it's too the substance that is used on the wall isn't something that we see nowadays. So they rule it out as not being graffiti.
Okay.
So it is possible with these paintings that we may be able to retrace an itinerary to some extent. After about 4, we hear his breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened. He's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps.
Okay, so that little wall back there, I actually know what place that's at. Right about. Oh.
Frightened. He's frightened. Louder, as though something was scaring him.
Right here. So that little crack in the wall and stuff. So that thing is old, and I actually saw this area because I remember the graffiti from the YouTube video. That has actually then collapsed, and that's been another side to the catacombs that they found. Yeah.
He's frightened. He's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try
crazy.
to decide which way to run among all the many different corridors. He's running faster and faster and faster, deeper
So
and
he's
deeper
just
into
running
the
through there?
Yeah, because he's scared. Like he starts like
we hear his
panting.
breathing get louder and louder, as though something was scaring him. He's frightened. He's frightened. Occasionally he stops, perhaps to try to decide which
Could you
way to
imagine
run
just
among all the
running
many
through
different
there
corridors.
by yourself, like
He's running faster
turning
and faster and
around,
faster,
like
deeper
this
and deeper into the
darkness?
catacombs. And all of a sudden, this video camera
So yeah, that's that video of
Wow.
yeah. But that's the lost footage of the catacombs and stuff.
So
Definitely,
what was that at the very end?
that was him just dropping the camera and like it hits like a puddle.
Wow.
Yeah, but like I mean, I don't know if you saw anything. I couldn't really make anything out because it was so blurry. But like
Yeah.
people have like been reporting that like, oh yeah, I saw like some like shadowy stuff as he like turns the camera and like things like that. And it's like yeah, people have been like just seeing crazy like weird shit happening in the catacombs and stuff, and it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, I might step foot in like the very beginning part, but I'm not gonna go on no adventure down there. Or
Oh,
anything.
I would not venture down there. No, like I mean, I don't like I don't get claustrophobic, but there's just something about like especially places like that that I feel like just give off just bad energy, you know?
Yeah, no, I would not enjoy it down there.
Yeah. Um I mean, there's tons of videos, there's tons of YouTubers and stuff like that. The one that I saw was from the Overnight channel. I think previously it was on the I think it was one of those like they go to like abandoned places. The one I told you about where it's like Corey's friend Elton.
Yes.
So Corey actually went down there with Elton and a whole bunch of other people to the catacombs, and I mean it was absolutely crazy. The only way that they were able to make their way out was because they ended up filming their whole entire process like through the catacombs, and they replayed the footage back on the camera to get back out, and just crazy stuff happened to their equipment. A lot of them kept on hearing like weird stuff, like I said, all the other stuff. And it's like it's weird because I feel like if you're down there and there's nobody around you for like miles away, and you hear like whispers, that's crazy. And like especially to
Yeah.
like see that like shadowy figures, and it's just like a narrow hallway, so it's like you have nowhere to go.
You need to send me that one.
We can watch it, but yeah, like for sure. It's just yeah, I don't know. That's my topic for like the catacombs. If you're not meant to go somewhere, don't go in there.
Yeah.
Especially if it's places where it's like a resting place for people. Like I know, like I don't know how it is in other places, but like here, around at least where I live, there's like open cemeteries, and you're like free to like walk around there and stuff like that. But it's like usually around like nice neighborhoods, and it's like there's like sufficient lighting around, not really on the cemetery grounds, but like around the cemetery. And it's like like the one that's closest to me, there's like literally like a school next to it. It's an academy for like gifted kids, and it's like a nice neighborhood, and it's just like on a little plot of like land, and it's like like a little cemetery and stuff. Like if it's open like that, feel free. If it's a place where you have to break into, or kind of break some type of law, don't do it. It's
Yeah,
not
don't
worth
do
it.
It's not smart either.
Yeah, and also if you see like some weird Craigslist ad saying that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna guide you to through here and there, get a background check, get thumbprints,
Yep.
background checks, number. Especially like in the video, the guy was like, oh, don't film me or whatever. And then it's like if people are like saying that, like kind of like read it out, because I get it, like some people don't want to be like on camera or whatever. But if you're like
Yeah.
like I said, if you have that gut feeling where it's like, oh, this is kind of sketch, I feel not safe, then leave.
Uh-huh. For sure.
But
Oh.
yeah, time to do our recap.
So, recap is always be smart. If you don't feel safe, get out of there. Call someone. Carry a taser on you. Whatever makes you feel safe. And don't go on don't jump in anyone's car just because they want to hang out with you and you've never met them before. Just read your surroundings and trust your gut.
Yeah, and like if you see a weird, like if you go on some like creepy tour or something like that, make sure it's a legit business. Make sure that it's somebody who's reliable, and that they have like you do a full background check, especially if you're gonna go somewhere where you need a guide and you can't just have a regular map.
Yeah.
And especially if it's illegal to go ahead and do something like that.
Yeah, don't do no illegal stuff, because more than likely people don't know that you're there, and if something ends up happening, they're not going to know where you are.
Yeah, like can you imagine like getting like stuck in like one of those like places in the catacombs, or let alone like God forbid something happens and you get hurt, It's like no one's gonna come down there. You get no self service.
Oh, I could not do that.
Yeah, like you can't call for help, and it's like what the people down there like maybe you'll find someone nice enough to help you.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. If
Or
not,
maybe
you just might be
water.
part of like the next set of bones that gets integrated into the wall.
For real.
So, but yeah, as always, thank you for watching. If you're watching this on the VOD, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and if you're new, please consider subscribing. I really do appreciate it, and maybe share this podcast if it's something that you want to go ahead and share with your friends. You like our advice and whatever. I always do welcome clips on my videos and stuff, just as long as it's not like you're not like clipping every single like second of like my video, but like if you found something that was funny, definitely clip it, send it to me. I definitely want to watch what was your best moment, or timestamp it down in the comments down below. Let us know what's something that you learned on today's podcast, or a different topic that you want us to talk about, as far as like something that you want us to take basis of. Like I know one that I was like really thinking about was like talking about the Winchester house, for something spooky, and then for something scary. I don't want to go ahead and like go too far off on like things that people have like heard over and over again, but I definitely want to go into like maybe like the Zodiac Killer, or like Ted Bundy, or like things like that.
Maybe on like a different side, like maybe like how they grew up, or what they ate in high school.
Yeah, or what was like their last meal before they died.
Yeah, stuff like that.
So,
Let us know. We need recommendations.
let us know down in the comment section down below, or in chat, whichever way you are watching this. And as always, stay spooky.
And a little scary.
And be safe.
Mostly safe.
Mostly safe.
Yes.
All right, bye-bye.